when you were right there, front and center, when this whole fucking insane drama happened between Nadeska and Star, and clearly you're pretty tight with her.
Yeah.
What was your perspective on that? Because I was, from an outsider perspective, I was so fascinated by it because here you have Complex, and you know they have this woman working here, and it's a very male charged environment,
right?
But they're you know tested on more talent and everything, and the last position they want to be in is hiring somebody who has a history of sexually harassing the one woman on camera.
So you talking about when he said
when
he said the shit about?
What did he say about sniffing her chair or something?
I can't remember what he said. All right, so look,
funny.
This how the Star
totally
shit go.
foul.
I ain't gonna lie. When I was a kid, bro, I used to wake up early to hear Star in the morning, bro.
Okay.
I used to love. I'm talking about. I even after working with him, I tremendously respect that man. This is how this is how I ended up. Well, I wouldn't say this is how I ended up on the show. What happened was Nadeska, they had the interview when he was apologizing for whatever it was he had said to Nadeska.
Okay.
So she said some shit to him, and I texted her like, "Yeah, Nadeska, talk your shit." And then she hit me a week later and was like, "Yo, you should come through."
That's what made her think of you as a potential co-host.
I don't know.
Damn, that's cool.
I don't know. But, you know, me and her got a good rapport, but it was because of that. Like, I was watching and I was like, talk your shit, which I didn't think that Star was going to be put off the show. But yeah, Star does have a history. But the thing is like, Star that's the type of content he makes. So I don't know if I don't know who hired him on there, but I know that, like, you have to know who you dealing with. Listen, Star, man, I used to fucking listen to Star say shit to people like, man, fuck you and your block. Like the people. Like, people used to call up, and they used to be like, Star, man, we trying to get out here, we trying to eat. Star used to be like, man, go get a pistol and feed your family. You know what I mean? Like, and I used to be like, man, I keep 10 rounds for 10 clowns. Like, I'm used to be a fan of Star as a kid growing up. So it's like, I just was looking at it from a fan perspective. You know what I mean? But yeah, that was a moment there. I wasn't there at the time.
It was crazy because, you know, think about it from her perspective is that if she had said, no, I don't want to work with him, you got to get rid of him, that they almost definitely would have done it. Yeah. But then at the same time, it's like, this is hip hop. She doesn't want to be the one who's kind of getting somebody fired for something that was like kind of an on-air joke and shit. So she did. Like, do you agree with her decision to say, nah, fuck it, he can still come on the show, and for her to sort of
Well, I wasn't even privy to the information of like him being still on the show. They just was like on some shit like, yo, we really liked you on here, so we want to have you as a fourth guest. You know what I mean? Like, that's how it started. And then like when it went and like when it was taking the break, it was like, you know, this may or may not happen, like I was saying before. But like, I wasn't even thinking like that. I was just like, y'all gonna pay me to talk shit. Y'all gonna have to pay me to shut up. Yeah. You know what I mean? It was good. Like, I'm like Complex treats me well. I say that.
Yeah. No, I have a ballpark idea, and it's definitely like coming from doing anything else outside that sort of industry. It definitely probably felt like a fucking upgrade. Absolutely.
And I mean, it also opened me up to a new audience of people. You know what I mean? Plus, I just took this position, you know, at Asylum to do A&R and shit. So
that's
it's like,
crazy.
It's a lot of kids that they might see me on the show and be like, oh, that's the guy. I might be if you watching me on the morning, I might be fucking hitting your email later to potentially sign you. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's opened me up to like new avenues and new ideas. And you know what another thing is like, this game is built off of comebacks, man. It's built off of like stories. And when me and East had our split, it was like, what's Wayno gonna do next? You know what I mean? And it's like, that came. You know what I mean? And when that came, one thing I say about being in this music industry, I got a lot of people that like root for me. Like, I know that. Genuinely people that root for me. Now, like, is everybody my best friend? No. But I got a lot of people that do want to see me do good. It's probably people that want to see me do bad. I don't know them and I don't give a fuck about them. But for the people that do want to see me do good, I'm on it. You know what I mean? So it made sense for me to do it. Take that position.
To go and take that. So what is the actual day? Are you just expected to bring X amount of artists in an average week? Hey, check these out. Or are you more like you're finding specific artists that you're really excited about and trying to actually make shit happen?
Well, you know, I got a team up there. So, you know what I mean? Like, my man Nico, you know what I mean? He's another A&R that works for me. Like, he handles research and shit. You know what I mean? So, like, that's how I found out about TJX6. You know what I mean? Like he had told us about TJX6. It was super early. I think TJ might have had like 5,000 followers on the gram. So I was watching his shit for like a month. You know what I mean? I was watching his shit for like a month and I was listening to songs. And I just thought it was like I don't want to disrespect him. I didn't take him like as no supreme lyricist and no shit like that. I just thought that like he had a different take with rap and he had a wave. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, that's dope. You know what I mean? I like that's dope. So excuse me. like my typical day is I come into the office. It might be everybody got an artist now. Like everybody has artists. People send me shit all day, every day.
But so that's your schedule. You go do Everyday Struggle, and then you go straight there into the office.
Yeah, so I do Everyday Struggle at we start at 7 a.m. I'm done by like 9:30, 9 o'clock most days, and it's on 43rd Street, Asylum on 50th Street. So I just walk up the block. You know what I mean? Walk up the block, go in the office, go to the gym. You know what I mean? Come back in the office, get my shit right. Start going over emails and stuff from the artists that I have already signed, and then just see what's out there. You know what I mean? And then I fly places, like I flew to Chicago to meet with some kids I'm trying to work, they're trying to sign. I mean, we did a few things, you know what I mean? So
it's interesting because when you get that job, it's like you're gonna be judged on the success of the shit that you actually sign and that you work. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like you probably are gonna be able to skate by for however long without necessarily putting in the full work. It's like, I feel like when people get positions at labels, it's so much on you. Like if you want to be the fucking president of that company in 10 years, work your ass off and sign all the important acts for that company. Yeah. And you might really be able to get there. But if you just kind of do the bare minimum, then you're going to kind of slowly probably work your way out of it.
Let me tell you this. So like, even with that, like, I don't feel no pressure, man. You know what I told somebody asked me, do I feel pressure? I said, you know what pressure is? Pressure is selling drugs to pay your bills. Pressure is fucking trying to figure out how to get out the projects. You know what I mean? Pressure is having beef with a motherfucker that's like that, and you can't go to sleep until you figure out what's gonna happen the next day. That's pressure. This shit ain't no pressure for me. You know what I mean? Like this shit is actually fun. So for me, like, this is all a dream, but like I'm trying to make the best of it. And what I mean by that is like when I'm signing artists, I'm trying to develop artists. Like I'm not into the whole fucking numbers game. Oh, his numbers is this. He's streaming that. Give him whatever he wants. I'm not into that shit. Cause I might not fucking like you. Like, you know what I mean? And you might be a fucking dingbat. Like, you know what I mean? Like real shit. Like I'm a sign somebody and give them a life-changing opportunity because they got a bunch of numbers, but they're a fucking bad person. They're a dickhead. They come in the room, don't look people in the eye, don't shake everybody's hand. Fuck all that. It's gonna be more artists out there. So I do my shit with integrity. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a lot of dope artists, you know what I mean, out there and shit, but like, I'm not just trying to grab anything. I'm trying, like, my time at Asylum, I want to be defined by sound. And each artist that I sign has their own sound. I haven't signed two artists that sound alike. So it's like, I want my time to be there, like, yo, you know, he had this kid and that kid made this, or he had that kid and that kid made that. You know what I mean? And we run the numbers up and we do great, perfect. But I just wanted my shit there because it's not forever. I want my time to be defined by me giving opportunities to the people that deserve them and putting them in position to be in this shit for 10 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, Dave East is an interesting one because you had to have been looking at him like, this is a dude who's talented on the mic, he makes good music, and he's got the look. He looks good on camera. Yeah. So that's kind of an easy sell. A lot of times when I'm looking at artists, it kind of feels like they got one, like, you know, there's a whole bunch of different characteristics, but they'll have a few of them, but not the other ones. You always hear artists who got a really amazing voice and shit, but then they look terrible on camera.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like with East, it was like, he could rap his ass off, but like, and he's
likable, good personality,
like, you know? And all the bitches like him, you know what I mean? And it was like, but like the first challenges we had was me getting him to take his hat off and take his hoodie off. He used to come everywhere with his hat like this.
He was too street.
And a hoodie like this. Like, I used to be like, yo, take your fucking hat off, dog. Like, I used to be like, yo, take your hat off. Like, I'm like, yo, like women want to look at your face, like, like people, and he tall as shit. You walk in the room, he's the center of attention because he's tall. Yeah. So like that, we used to argue about that because he ain't used to want to take his hat off. I used to be like, yo, take your hat off.
That's hilarious.
But I looked at it like that. The thing with him was like, because I look at artists as like businesses. So like, remember when Kanye said that shit about how Travis Scott should have like 3 business owners managing him instead of just a manager or some shit like that, right? Which I'm not taking none from his manager because his manager's a dope dude. But like, I look at artists as a building, and you have different floors to them. Like you got the artist, the rapper floor, right? You have the fucking the philanthropy floor if they want to get into that shit. You got the look, you know what I mean, the branding side. Like I look at all of that shit when I try to sign artists. So it's like, I'm super picky with shit, you know what I mean? But I understand that me signing an artist is not always about me. You know what I mean? Like I pay attention to the kids. Like every time I get an artist, I play that shit for my kids. I be like, what y'all think? they be like, I don't really fuck with it. Like they will say fuck with it, but they like, I don't really.
But is that enough for you to be turned off to it when the kids don't fuck with it? Because a lot of times you might be looking at something as something that they're gonna have to warm up to it.
Yeah, if my mind is made up, then my mind is made up. But I look at what they say. You know what I mean? I look at like certain things that they into, certain things they say, because I was the same kid when I was 15. You could not tell me nothing about the Lox. They fucking saved my life. Like their music was my soundtrack to my everyday. So when a dude is telling me about, and don't get me wrong, I was young enough to see Big Daddy Kane, but when you telling me that Jadakiss is not better than him, or even Rakim, like me personally, Jadakiss and Styles P and Sheek, their music meant more to me than Rakim's music. So the same way how a kid would be like, a kid would say, you ask a kid that's a fucking Tekka fan, or you ask Tekka like, yo, how do you feel about Jay-Z's music? He'd be like, Jay-Z, the fuck you talking about? He's 17. Like you expect him to know what Jay-Z's first album sound, and not saying that he shouldn't do his homework. That's one thing I'm not gonna say. Like it's cool for artists to do homework, but what means something to him is Chief Keef, Lil Wayne, them niggas. Like,
and if Lil Tecca told me that he had gone back and listened to Reasonable Doubt and Illmatic and shit, and that he respected it and appreciated it, I would think that was so fucking dope.
Yeah,
but I'm not expecting
that.
There's 50 fucking years of rap history to go through here. You know,
I'm not expecting that. Like, all right, so I started listening to Public Enemy when I was like 21 for real, because all I knew was the singles. I knew like Fight the Power and 911 is a joke, like certain shit that just was the video. I wasn't listening, and I was a little kid when that shit came out, but I wasn't listening to Public Enemy albums. I couldn't understand the words that they was articulating or the subject matter they was talking about, even NWA. I didn't listen to that shit. When I got like 20 years old, I went being around Beanie Siegel. He told me like, yo, go get America's Most Wanted by Ice Cube. Go listen to Death Certificate. Really? Listen to fucking Fear of a Black Planet. Listen to Strata Compton. Like he telling me go listen to that shit. So I'm tuning in at 19, 20 years old and like, oh shit, they saying stuff. But I wasn't like, nobody could have told me, if you'd have asked me a question like, yo, is Chuck D one of the best? I'd been like, he not better than Method Man. I'd have like, you know what I mean? I'd have said it because Wu-Tang Clan meant everything to me. So I wouldn't have been like, I would have said some shit that if I'm a rapper, it's gonna make headlines. He doesn't think this. He's not born in that era. Everybody not gonna feel the same way. You know what I mean?